RaceLeague has just been released on Steam Early Access, and I thought I'll give you my thoughts on the title, and little first impressions if you will. RaceLeague offers 3 different cars, an easy to digest user interface, multiplayer support, realistic force feedback, simple but characterful graphics, if dated, a decent crash damage model, and I mean decent, I mean pretty damn good, and most crucially, a track editor, all sitting very nicely on the Unity engine. So, what is it like? I would say first and foremost, this is still in early access and everything's likely to change. Anyway, some thoughts for you. The UI is very basic, but decent enough. Offers decent mouse support, simple with a nice backing music. It does offer a changelog to the left hand side in addition to a developmental roadmap, so you can see the process that the game is going to make over the next few months or even years. There are lots of setting changes you can make, and despite being an indie title, it does go up to 340 by 1440p. Not bad at all. I even got my wheel to work with a few bottom prompts, managed to get my wheel all set up, and even my Arduino handbrake of all things. Not bad at all. The settings are a little bit fiddly for the moment, but with some refinement I think it's going to come out pretty good. I would say I am using a 3070 and I'm getting anywhere between 45 and 144 frames per second, depending on whether I'm using low or I'm using 20 different cars on the grid. But it is early access and we have to remember that. Multiplayer support, you can have up to 20 laps in a race, which some of the circuits can mean you're racing for about half an hour. It does offer text chat options as well while you're waiting for a race to start, and there is a little bit of a slow before you can join a race, but you can quickly roll through them fairly easily. The host will pick a track and it just rolls through. If the host leads, it goes to somebody else and you continue. I would say that the multiplayer racing, because of the damage model, if you do get punted at T1 like you would do on every other Simcade title, your car is pretty much total, and unless you can drag your way back to the pits, you're going to have to retire from the race. There is no towing option, but then again, this is an indie title, not iRacing, so I can say it's probably a bit too much of a stretch for an indie developer. If you did limit the damage or have the option to, then this would be a fun arcade racer for those who just want to pun into people. But at the moment, it's a bit extreme for my liking, but the risk is there. What about the driving experience? Well, the cars are very twitchy. There are a few force feedback options for you to amend things to manage the steering inputs, which can be tricky at first, but you can adapt to it. I would say make sure to turn off all the assist settings if you are using a wheel, and I've only tested it on a wheel so I can't comment on anything else, but it is serviceable, let's say. There is lots of good oversteer and you do feel the weight in your wheel, and if you do hit the wall you do feel it, but there is absolutely zero road texture. It is serviceable, but nothing more. Let's talk about the cars. The RL300, which is not a Formula car, but clearly is a Formula car, feels like a big go-kart, and the best way to get the braking power on is actually to slide it in a little bit, if you can control it. You then got the Porsche that isn't a Porsche, but acts exactly like an old Porsche, with loads of understeer and then massive amounts of oversteer. Makes it a really tricky challenge. Next, you've got the not a Ford Fiesta, but clearly a Ford Fiesta Rallycross car, which is extremely twitchy, but is good fun and you can take it on gravel. During the races, there are pit lanes available which will repair your car and change your tyres, and even a pit limiter set at 69. Nice. They even have rally stages as well, fan-made rally stages, which are probably need some refinement, but offers a unique challenge. The track editor is where this game really sells itself. It may take some getting used to, but there is a bucket ton of fan-made tracks and stages available. The tool is there for you to use, and with some practice you can make some new tracks and then upload them to the community. There is a load more to come from this title. For a fun arcade racer with a great damage model, this is really good fun. With continued development, I could see this being a fun second or third title. I cannot recommend it at this moment in time, not because it's bad or anything like that, because, well, it's not. It's £20 though at the moment, or $28 or whatever you're going to pay in your currency. It's a bit steep for what you're getting. However, there is a nice diamond in the rough there, and I think with some development, this can be a very interesting title. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment and subscribe, and watch some of my others. I really would appreciate it. Thanks, and have a good evening.